Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today I will start this video a couple actions into the match because I forgot I was recording. This is something I used to do months ago. I just forgot my numeral lock key, and I would click the recording button, but the input wouldn't actually register, so I would never start recording. So that was kind of a mess. This time it happened still in the first round of the match, so everything is a-okay. Today I'm playing against Cherry Prince here, and I am playing with a Dodge comp. Now this is the Ludic... Oh boy, that doesn't feel good, but this is the Ludic special team I'm playing with here, but I have taken a completely different approach to it. I have a very intricate set of trinkets and a very intricate playstyle that I'm gonna be going for, which I'll explain in just a minute. But first, I must tell you that this is a special day because today I broke my chair. I broke my favorite chair. So I've had to like set myself up differently because now I have a chair that I'm not used to and it is way too tall for my setup. So my microphone, this would be much easier to explain if I had a video camera, but my microphone is basically sitting on a pile of law books. It's like 5 of them. Yeah, it seems it's like 5 of them. It's quite a funny sight to watch. It also has a sock on, so this is definitely one of the setups that I've ever seen. But in terms of what I'm doing here with this team is that I thought, well, you know, I've been doing lots of things. What's something I haven't been doing? Playing Dodge. I have not given Dodge a try. Everyone knows it's fun. A lot of people have asked me to play Dodge again because it is fun. I mean, maybe not a lot of people, maybe like one people called Stormy. He loves it when I play Dodge. And yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing here. And I am bringing an odd setup because only 2 of my characters are actually really full on with the Dodge. That's because Dodge teams are kind of having a rough time when it comes to trinkets, because you don't really have a lot of trinkets to bring your dodginess up. You basically have Monkey's Paw, which you only have 2 of, sadly, and then you have some character specific trinkets, but the only ones that give 15 are the Shield Breakers and the Antiquarian, so you know, that is unfortunate, but that is the strategy I've gone for here. Instead of what someone normal would do, which would be to either make the Antiquarian not tanky by taking away the Monkey's Paw, or wait, how much damage is on that? Should be fine, right? Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, see, I dodged, it's okay. Yeah, instead of taking away the Monkey's Paw from the Antiquarian and just giving her another trinket, but having her be less dodgy, or taking away the Monkey's Paw from the Shield Breaker, just praying that the base dodge plus a graceful anklet plus the serpent sway is enough, I've decided to keep these 2 absolutely dodgy mofos, and I have made the Jester complete gamble. No Monkey's Paw, no finisher, he's not here to survive, he's here to drop Battle Ballad, go solo with the dodge from the bolster, so he still has the dodge if he does get the solo off, and then after he gets Finale, you know, he's gone. And since I don't have dodge trinkets for the Man-at-Arms, I've decided to bring full-on protection. At least he's going to survive against those damage teams. Now, I'm in a bit of an odd situation here because I'm explaining the team, so I don't have time to play. Even though I have 30 seconds, I don't have time to play my moves because I'm not very familiar with the team, so I actually have to think them out. I don't have a game plan for like the next 4 actions as I would with a damage team or a stress team or whatever. But in this situation, I feel kind of odd for not having the Pierce here. And in terms of how this is going, it feels like my opponent really hasn't done too much to us, but we also haven't done too much to our opponent apart from just disrupting him. So it definitely feels a bit icky in this situation. I think that's what I can say here. It feels a bit icky because the Plague Doctor is out of position for sure. She's probably not going to be able to drop my Chester that quickly. They do have 2 command buffs and punish with the spiked bat, so they're probably going to go for it on my Chester. But no, they're going to go for the backline. I still dodge despite 2 command buffs, by the way. Yeah, this is probably the worst thing you can go against with a dodge comp, and it's still working, right? It's still working. The only reason it's working is because one of their characters is completely useless. The Plague Doctor sucks against Shieldbreaker, but you know, that's my one saving grace here in the situation. In terms of matchups, we are not doing well. This does not feel like a good matchup for us to be in. Now, I think I am just gonna keep on going with the festering vapors. This time I do get hit though. There was still that plus 20 accuracy on the man-at-arms. What are the trinkets he has? He has the shield spike, so the very good repulse trinket, and he has nothing instant. So no insignia of rank, so it isn't quite as scary, that repulse, but I mean, with shield spike command, it's most likely still gonna hurt. Now, in this situation, they have 9 regens, so they're gonna go up to 21 HP, which is a bit much, but I have way more than 14 to 25 damage. That's what you usually would have with this, but I have a crit buff, right? I mean, I have 2 buffs to my finale crit, and I also have a crit buff, but that's not meaningful here. And I will be able to do some extra damage here, and yeah, she's dead. Unless she... No, she's dead. There's no way for her to survive. Now, the only problem is, if I kill her here, I'm not sure if I can win the match, because I still have to deal with the flagellant and the man-at-arms. So that's the problem I am running into. Is that even if I kill her here, which I can with the Reaper Shroud, Eagle Eye Talisman, this is a plus 25% damage, it completely negates the minus damage from being at this store. Problem is, even if I do this, I have no clue how I'm able to kill this flagellant. I do not think it is possible. But if I don't kill her here, she just regens, does some other incision move, and yeah, there's really not too much I can do, so... if I don't kill her there, I am also screwed, so I just have to do this, and now I have to get rid of the man-at-arms. Once the man-at-arms goes down, or perhaps I could puncture the Antiquarian over and over again. Well, we'll see about it, we'll see about it. Immediate death blow, my favorite. He was probably dead anyway to the Rain of Sorrows. At least this way he doesn't cause stress to all the chaps in their favorable position, so I'm just gonna go for the puncture here. Thankfully it does work. I was a bit worried that 20% would actually strike and make me feel quite terrible in this situation, but no, I managed to just get a puncture off, a little bit of damage on the Antiquarian, which I definitely need, and also to get rid of one of the flagellant's moves, and also to make it so the retribution will not come through. Really just a very, very good puncture in that situation to get. It basically makes it so I get 1 free festering vapors off and 1 move from the flagellant, so that is quite nice. Now sadly, the stress from the festering vapors is essentially meaningless because they haven't used bolster, surprisingly. I mean, they've had to repulse and all that, right? Repulse and command, so they haven't had the time. But it's meaningless against the flagellant, of course. The DOT is getting countered by the rejuvenating vapors, and they might even get a virtue. And despite my high dodge, she's still hitting because they have the command buff. This is really the worst matchup I could have gone into, isn't it? Yeah, this is about as bad as it gets. I kind of somehow managed to make it work for a little bit, but it is not working anymore. Hell no. It does not feel goody for the Shepherd Doggy, but I'm gonna continue to go for punctures on this Antiquarian. Why? Because maybe I drop an Adder's Kiss on her, maybe the healing runs out, I'm able to kill the man-at-arms, and then I have way too much dodge for the flagellant. Right, that's the idea here, that's what we want to do. That's hopefully what we can accomplish in this situation. I'm gonna drop a... No. We dropped the Bellow before we dropped the Festering Vapors, because the Festering Vapors DOT would just be consumed right now by that regen. It would not make a difference. But if I let the regen heal a man-at-arms, then the Festering Vapors DOT could still make a difference. Actually, I feel like... Nah, it could have made a difference there already, but let's just do it this way, and it's perfectly okay too. I guess I'm keeping my dodge buff for an extra round as well, while the flagellant hadn't acted, so it was still good for me to do that. Did I fail the DOT? No, I don't think so. Well, at least she hasn't dropped the regen in a bit, so it's kind of running out on that man-at-arms, but she still has 17. She's going very aggressive with the Festering Vapors. My entire team is dropping to their store, by the way. There's no way I can survive the onslaught of Festering Vapors with Materia Pestis and 2 command buffs. That's just not happening. But the one thing I can do is that... Now, I don't get the blight on her. This might be really rough in this situation, because if I also don't get the blight with the Antiquarian, she's actually gonna be able to regen out of this door despite me playing a DOT team and despite me using 2 moves to DOT her. But yeah, that is a possibility here. Now, sadly I don't have Retribution. I thought about whether to bring Retribution or... Please get the blight. Please get the blight. Oh my god. That is so annoying. That is genuinely so annoying. I noticed after that I did misplay. I could have gone for a Bellow first to reduce her blight resistance instead of just doing the other skis there, but still, that is so freaking annoying that I failed both the 75 because it was a crit, and I also failed the 55 there. Yeah, it is really annoying to be in my situation here. Maybe I can kill her through stress. That's I also failed a Bellow. Yeah, I'm just praying that I managed to go through stress. Irrational. Hopeless. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the hopeless, I guess. I've had worse on my opponent's side. Worse for me, that is. If you went masochistic here, it would be perfect for my opponent. So she's gonna take cover, to which I could expose, but I kind of want to use my Man-at-Arms turn before he just gets 25, like the poor little Chester did. I would have loved to drop another soul with him, obviously, but, you know, unfortunate. I'm just gonna do this before he dies, and then I'm gonna drop the expose, I believe, and that will do a lot of stress. I will still have a lot of dodge here, but I feel like I might be a bit too late. They actually, so funnily enough, they go for the defender here on the stealth character, which means that I actually can't use expose, nor can I use puncture, because she's stealthed, right? So I can't puncture her. She's also guarded, so I can't expose her. That is very interesting. I kind of just wanted to showcase it. I probably should have waited a turn or two. But yeah, it is quite interesting, the situation I've been put through. I guess I'm just gonna... No, I probably should have done it on the Man-at-Arms anyway. Oh yeah, I should have gone on the Man-at-Arms. Oh, silly Shepherd Doggy. I mean, this feels hopeless anyway, but I'm making it even more hopeless by opening up the window to redeem. Oh yeah, that was really not good. They're gonna go for the Punisher. It doesn't make much of a difference. She was dropping this turn anyway, so... Yeah, she's doomed regardless. I'm gonna have to pray that her 65 touch strikes I do 0 damage. And I still don't get the blight, but at this point, I mean, she's dropping anyway. Maybe Fearful passes and then the next Festering does damage. I mean, they're not gonna click her to this door with Fearful there. Oh, everything. No, I'm so silly. Why did I give expose on the Flagellant? Why did I do that? Oh, there goes her HP back. Oh man, I really love playing against Flagellants, don't you? You just try coming back to the Butcher Circus. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do next match? Yeah, I'm gonna play a dodge team with Flagellants. Screw you, geezers. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna enjoy myself, because if you can't beat them, join them, right? It's just so sad. Like, what could I have done against this Flagellant? I could have dropped the finale on him. Oh! 225s! I had dodge! I even had dodge, and she gets 225s over there! What is this nonsense, man? Yeah, I even had dodge, and she just gets 225s. While fearful, and with this door recovery. No, I mean, she does have plus damage while guarded, so no. I guess she would deal damage to my Man-at-Arms in this situation, but yeah, that is a surrender. GG's to Cherry Prince. They have a pretty interesting team, because the Shieldbreaker is weak to... No, the Plague Doctor is weak to the Shieldbreaker, but Shieldbreaker teams have a terrible time against what my opponent is playing. And oh god, that's a lot of losses. Let's go for match number 2. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 2. So I decided not to bring the Flagellant. I just accepted that, you know, that was a bad matchup, you know. Sometimes you have good matchups, sometimes you have bad matchups, and I feel like that was just one of the bad ones. So I'm just gonna accept that, and I'm gonna keep on moving, keep on experimenting with this team. Even then, I feel like there could have been something else I could have done. If I had Retribution, for example, if instead of the Expose I had the Pierce, I could have maybe focused that Flagellant down at the start and dropped the finale on him. I do think I went first. I can't exactly remember, because the first 3 rounds I was recording, then I wasn't recording, then I was recording again, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. Who did they go for Puncture on? I'm very glad I went for the Bolster first. I think they missed the Puncture on my Antiquarian. I'm very happy about that. So I'm just gonna drop the Battle Ballad here. Shep, why do you have... And this looks very odd. It's quite sad that the team lost, because I had very high hopes for it, despite it being just a weird, like, patched together characters, patched together trinkets, because a full damage Chester doesn't typically go with a full dodge Antiquarian that just has Festering Vapors, doesn't go with a full defense Man-at-Arms. It's just a very odd team that I feel like had the tools for success, but just just had an unfortunate time, right? Now, in this situation, I could go for the puncture here, just make that, rather just force that Hellion to go breakthrough, which is a garbage move, so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm gonna puncture this Vestal, and I'm gonna fail to 20. Oh, of course. Rather, my opponent is gonna get to 20. It is the way of the Butcher Circus. When you play Shieldbreaker, you have a few decisions, or rather you have a few choices. You can bring double dodge and still get hit. You can bring only one dodge trinket and have the blight trinket, so you get the blights, but then you don't get the pulls and you still get hit. Or you can have the move trinket and you still get the pulls unless it's an Arbals, which you still fail them, and then you suck at everything else. Or you can go for both the move chance trinket and the blight trinket. You're still not amazing at blighting, you're still not amazing at pulling, and you get hit by literally every stun in the world. So regardless of what you do with the shield breaker, you're never gonna have a good time. Surprisingly, my opponent still uses breakthrough despite being a garbage move. I mean, what can I say? And funnily enough, I was going to complain, but I didn't have the time until just now. My opponent actually got the debuff with the Sniper's Mark. This is an ability on a character that usually does not want to go for debuff chance trinkets. It's an ability that only works from the back 2 ranks, a mark ability, a single target mark ability that doesn't do any damage. Only works from the back 2 ranks, quite unlike Mark for Death, which works from every rank against every rank. This one is very limited, so having this with like a collect bounty, which is what you usually want to do, is very annoying to get that synergy going when she gets disrupted. You just can't do anything. But you know, for some reason this debuff not only has only 100% base, it also only lasts 2 rounds, so I was able to just click and now click again, and my opponent just couldn't do anything, and I absolutely love it. I just love it. Now, at this point I have taken a bit of damage, so I guess I'm just going to bellow here, get some damage debuffs going, or, you know, try to get some damage debuffs going. I failed a bellow on the Arbalest, oh boy. Yeah, it happens sometimes, Shep. It happens sometimes, but yeah. I do have the Protector's Kite and the Pitfighter's Helm, that's 50 prot, I mean 50 HP, 35 prot. If I guard, it's 65 prot, so if I were playing against WD, what can they do? If they go first, I have, 40 dodge on the Jester, so he's still not a good target. If I go second, I mean, yeah, that's if they go first. If they go second, I just press solo immediately, and then I still have 40 dodge, and he's also not too easy to focus down, and I don't need the accuracy because it's WD, right? I'm probably gonna miss the first round bellow, but yeah, let's not think about that for too long. If that happens, they would also be unable to stun my Man-at-Arms reliably, because the Crusader would actually not be able to hit him, because Man-at-Arms would be in position 3. Now, surprisingly, despite me having 55 dodge, my opponent keeps lining their abilities, so, you know, that's a fair bit annoying, but let's just do this, force them to break through again. It's still the best play, and it still keeps failing. Yeah, this is why I don't play dodge teams. They're the most infuriating sort of teams to play here. They go for the judgment, finally they whip something. And I could Dirk Saber, or I could solo here. Both are ideas. Let's solo. The stress might be helpful later down the line. Yeah, the stress might be helpful. I might get an affliction or two. The self-mark doesn't mean anything. She can't shoot me, and that's also plus crit. So it is quite decent. They go for the breakthrough. They hit everyone despite 50 dodge, 60 dodge. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. It really isn't too much for me to say. I'm thinking of just going Festering Vapors. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna go Festering Vapors, I'm gonna pray for a crit, and just hope that gives me that extra edge on the dodge, and I just managed to survive that way. I'm also gonna have to expose into Finale here, or I'm gonna have to guard after the Shieldbreaker turn, because Iron Swan actually has a really decent chance to get the death blow. They also have Sniper Shot here, but it's gonna whiff, right? Yeah, there we go, it whiffs. It's not like this ability has 110 base accuracy. Yeah, it whiffs, don't worry about it, Shep. Well, this is when I'd wish I have Pierce again, but I just have to settle for the expose. I do hit the grits received though, that Finale. I might have to go for the Jammy Man Finale here, I might have to go for the crit Finale. She's gonna heal. Oh, my opponent is relatively smart. Relatively smart. J-Man, how much damage is this? Is it 20? Wow, no, it's way more. 56. 56% chance to get the crit. And I get like a mineral on it. Yeah. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Ah! Into the 25. Oh, I'm gonna lose against a novice. Oh, man. Oh, I do not like this team. I do not like this team. It's mathematically correct in terms of theory, but in terms of practice, it's just horrible. It is just horrible. I feel like you could clip that. I feel like you could clip what I just said, put it into like a soundboard, and then just anything that you look at that you disagree with, you could have me there saying, theoretically it's correct, but in practice it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, I feel like you could put that into a clip. But anyway, maybe the stress works out for me here. 24 healing. The freaking heal bot. Can I get the third puncture? Finally, I get this puncture off. Freaking heal bot. I was so harmed by not getting the first punctures. I almost forgot there was a possibility. I kind of just accepted that my opponent could not be disrupted. I kind of just accepted that, I feel, and it sucks, because they keep hitting me with their 50-50s, and it keeps critting! Yeah, I don't know what to say. I do know what to say. I say that this feels horrible. My opponent is likely to win this match at this point, and yeah, it is unfortunate. The plus damage though from the Eli Talisman and the Reaper Shroud, it really hurt, didn't it? 1323. Breakthrough! An ability with 90 accuracy. Yeah, that was a 40 to hit, 25 to death blow. They just get it. Yeah, just fitty into fitty with like a, what's the crit chance on Shieldbreaker with this? Like 19? 19 crit chance. Oh, I failed a 56. Yeah. Yeah, it is a sad world to be Shepherd Doggy in. And I think I've lost. Yeah, there's literally nothing I can do anymore. I can press Velo. This has to be one of the saddest Shepherd Doggy episodes I've ever seen. It's just me losing over and over again. Because my team cannot behave. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Oh, and another crit. Look, it's the plus crits received, guys. She's getting more crits because the plus crits received. Yeah, no. I am out. I'm playing a flat 1 dodge team. You cannot stop me. Well. It turns out that you cannot stop me, but I can't stop myself. I'm still playing the same team. I figured that, you know, if this episode is gonna go down this way, I might as well take it to the end, right? Might as well just keep on gaming with the funny shenanigans here. So I'm gonna go for the pull again. Yay, it worked. Let's see how different this match is from now on. Let's see how different it is now that the pull worked. But Shep, your opponent's team is actually decent. They still have 2 abilities to reposition. Yeah, but it's Pierce and Breakthrough. These abilities suck ass. These abilities suck ass. This team is not prepared to go full out on the offense. I don't know. I don't feel like my opponent's team is that good. I'm just faltering. Yeah, I'm just faltering. But let's go for the bolster here. Let's give myself the dodge. They don't have accuracy buffing abilities. They have accuracy buffing trinkets, but not abilities. They don't have that much accuracy. So my dodge will hopefully work this time around. That is what I can pray for. Who do I want to finale? Most likely... the Shieldbreaker doesn't even have sway, Jesus. Most likely the Arbalist. Yeah, this Arbalist is marking for herself, by the way. She doesn't have anyone else that can mark. She's marking for herself, and yeah, she just whiffs. Now, it does have 130 base accuracy, I will give it that. This ability does have good accuracy base, but it just whiffs. Unlucky, I guess. Looks like I can get lucky sometimes, too. Yeah, should I still ballot? Yeah, my abilities have horrible accuracy values. I have 100 on the ballot, which isn't too bad, but you kind of need like an insignia of rank or a eerie eye to make it actually land. So I'm just gonna drop the battle ballot. 14 and 9, bro, 2 crits into my 35 dodge and 60 dodge. 60, and she just gets crits from that. You know, I'm gonna bring back this old thing I said. This is really old, but I had this balance idea that would make dodge teams unbearable, and it would make accuracy buffs even stronger than they already are. So it's not a very good balance idea, but the idea was, if your hit chance is below 70, you cannot crit. That was kind of the idea. And for a second there, I just thought of, if your hit chance is below 70, you also cannot kill. You can just get death's door checks. That would be absolutely insane. Unless the kill chance is 100, then you can kill that. No, that would just be stupid. That wouldn't make any sense. But if your accuracy is below 70, you cannot crit. It would also be silly. Crits are just supposed to be you just lucking out the wazoo, so it doesn't make sense that you wouldn't be able to crit. But yeah, I'm just gonna solo here. You might wonder, Shep, why are you going defensive with Regen now instead of just going offensive with Defense Vapors? Well, I probably should have done this in the previous match. Not in the first one, because they just had way too much DOT for me to handle. This would not be enough. But in this match, I am gonna do this. I'm also thinking of going for... I could just go for it again. But this time I'm actually gonna go for the puncture here. That's gonna put the Vestal in a position she doesn't like. Of course they still have Pierce, but yeah, I don't care, it's Pierce. It's Pierce, it sucks as an ability. It's really not a very good ability. See, I dodge, it's perfectly okay. Now the Vestal has to act first because she's dazed, so that's not too good for my opponent, and I guess I will just drop another Rejuvenating Vapors. That is one of the things I could do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's drop another Rejuvenating Vapors. I'm gonna go full on BITCH with this team. I'm gonna go full on the defense, full regen, full dodge. I just do not care. Why is regen so good when paired with dodge? Well, it's so good because not only are you dodging the ability. So usually regen is you get more actions than what you're paying. You pay for one action, but you get lots of heal. So you drop to their store, you heal yourself, and then you still get to attack. So you're getting more actions than you paid for, essentially. But it does take some, luck, or at least some good use, or at least countering DOTs on the enemy team to make the regen work. Or, also using the actions at the correct time. So it's not always going to be free actions, but it's even more free actions when you have dodge, because if your opponent already has a shaky chance of hitting you, then even if they do hit you regen, then they miss, then they hit you again, and then you regen again. It's just absolutely crazy if you manage to make that work. While if you just have protection, they just bring you down to their store anyway, even if you have a lot of protection, because regen isn't that big. It doesn't usually doesn't have like insane values. You can get it up to like 20 if you have 2 regen characters, or if you spam it particularly hard, or if you get lucky with the crits. But I'm not going to be expecting that. I am not going to be expecting that. So this time they actually pierce my shield breaker. That is very wild of them to do. Do I have enough to finale yet? Well, if I get the crit. But I'm not gonna roll the dice on it. I'm instead just going to bellow here. Hopefully apply the debuff on the Hellion. Yes, I do. Minus 50 already. Oh, that hurts. Yeah. Stings to be a Hellion today, doesn't it? It must sting. It always stings to be a Hellion, let's be honest. They shoot me. Even if they hit me, I still had regen, so I'm perfectly okay. I just regen myself to full. And now, yeah, I still have regen, even though I marked for quite a while. They're just gonna miss me again. They're just not really gonna be able to do too much. Regen is just broken. Yeah, I mean, there's just really not much my opponent can do here. They don't have... I should have been doing this round 1. I mean, the other match, by the way, but since I didn't, then, this situation happened. I'm gonna drop a Dirk Snap here. They're gonna heal themselves with Divine Grace, most likely. They could try to heal with Judgment. Funnily enough, I feel like Judgment was nerfed. I remember in the base game, I always felt like never use Divine Grace on yourself as the Vestal. You have Judgment, and that's basically Divine Grace with damage. But the number differential is massive in the Circus. I feel like it was more like, Divine Grace heals you for 5 to 7. This is gonna heal you for like 4. I feel like that was more like it. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong. My base game knowledge is garbage. So definitely do feel free to tell me if I am just speaking nonsense here, but yeah, I'm gonna go for another puncture. My damage buffs are racking up exponentially. I already have 3 on there, plus the crit. If they don't heal here with their Bedix full plate, I am for sure gonna go for the finale here. it probably deals, let's do the math, like 17. No, 15 to 27. Okay, that's a bit underwhelming, but yeah, we get the crit on it. Nice, nice. That extra crit chance from dropping the solo. So, funnily enough, even though you really like getting crits and going aggressive, only Battle Ballad, Solo, and Inspiring Tune give you plus crit buff. I feel like Mortal Wound should do that as well. In the base game, I think Solo gave you like just plus 7... Oh, my opponent surrenders. Yeah, Solo gave you like plus 70% damage, while Dirksam gave you like 10, or like plus 30. So you'd have abilities that would buff up your Finale by way more than others, and they completely changed that to just having a bit more crit buff on some of the abilities, which I think is better. Maybe the Jester could be rebalanced around that. I suppose that is a possibility, but it would really nerf the Jester and the damage teams, because you kind of don't have time to be playing around with your tune, or to be dropping solos most of the time. Though if you buff solo up and make it do plus 70% damage again, that's almost 2 buffs just from one action. I mean, 2 buffs at the moment just from one action, which would be... yeah, that would be insane. That would actually be insane. That means that round 2 you'd have 11 to 20 damage on your Chester. That would be a bit much. Yeah, and you can't hit him regardless, because he just has that extra dodge from the solo. So yeah, it would be rough to say. Probably not a very good idea to mess around with that, though. I think he's fine as is. It's just his Mortal Wound that feels bad. It's not terrible, you can make it work, but overall, just no one uses it because these other abilities are just so much better, right? So right now my opponent has... oh boy, Bloodstained Gambeson on her. No Bola on this Musketeer. Let's see if I can punish them. Imagine if they didn't have Pick either. That would be really funny. Do they have Command buff? No, they don't. Yeah, I'm playing against Novices. On the bright side, because I'm playing this team, maybe against Novices matches are still exciting. Who knows? Who knows, right? That's why I'm still gonna play this one out. See how this match goes. See if we can do something against Awesome Sauce. Oh yeah, Awesome Sauce. I looked at the name and I had no idea what it was saying, but as I said it, you can actually realize what it does say. That's a pretty neat name that my opponent has. So we're gonna go for the Retribution. No accuracy. It's just gonna whiff as you do, and we're just buffing up. We go Bolster, we go Ballad, we go maybe even Rejuvenating Vapors again. Yeah, I don't think Festering. It's gonna whiff, right? The Riposte is gonna whiff. It has 85 accuracy. It's a 30 to hit. Even if it does hit, it's probably not gonna do a lot of damage. I am pretty sure the plus melee skills does not work on the Riposte. And you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's have a look at the damage numbers and see if it does work or not. So today it is a learning experiment day. So let's see what happens with that. My opponent's gonna pass! No, they passed. Oh no. Anyway, I pass as well. That is the golden rule. If your opponent passes, you pass as well. Is this 3 passes in a row? I feel like it is. No, they're here. You can see the mouse. Probably their doggy just came into the room and was like, please give me pets, please give me pets. And they're like, no, Bianca, go away. I'm busy. And then by the time Bianca let go of him, or rather they let go of Bianca, the timer was already up. Or maybe they just forgot. Yeah, that's also a possibility, but I prefer the first one. So let's go for the Festering Vapor, see how much damage it does. It doesn't. It doesn't do damage, yeah. As somewhat expected. Actually, they do have accuracy buffs. You can ranging shot here. It would actually be a really good idea to ranging shot. You're getting rid of the stress. You're applying minus stress taken to yourself, and you're giving your entire team accuracy buffs. Or otherwise, you're just gonna go aim shot and miss, or just get lucky and get aim shot and actually hit. Unfortunate. I think at this point in time, I'm finally gonna use my defender. Finally, because I'm at the last not playing against either a shield breaker or just a DOT team or DOT stress team, so I can finally use my defender and my protection trinkets on my man at arms for good use. They still have pick, but pick doesn't do that much damage unless you Shadow Fade first, and then pick hurts. Yeah, pick really hurts if you Shadow Fade first, but I doubt my opponent's gonna do that. You know what, we're still testing. Let's see how much damage. Oh, it's 2 riposte now. I didn't even notice. Both of them just whiff because I got the crits. I actually had 75 dodge there. Yeah, 2 crits in a row. This is the Antiquarian RNG that is just fabled. She just gets crits. It is unknown how this is possible, but she gets so many freaking crits because she has that 5 base, and unlike every AoE ability in the Butcher's Circus, Festering Vapors is an AoE ability that hits 4 characters and also gives you crit mod. That's just because her base crit chance is possibly the worst, maybe on par with the worst. But yeah, no, it might be the worst. 5 seems really bad. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone quite as bad as that. I think Crusader is 6. Oh, no, is it 7? No, Crusader is 7 actually. I can't remember. It's been 2 months. I don't know the numbers anymore. The numbers, J-Man. What do they mean? The numbers. Okay, my opponent now has a bit of a choice. Either they miss into 65 dodge, or they go into 65 prot without the armor-piercing trinket. So, or, you know, they just do that. I guess that's a possibility too. You know what would be funny? If they had Thrown Dagger and used Thrown Dagger instead of Pick or Panic Darts. They have Panic Darts, why aren't they using it? That's so silly. Have I used Command Buff? No, I haven't. If I had used Command Buff, I would have gone for a Dark Stab there. Just because with 2 damage trinkets and the plus 25% damage for guarded characters with the command, yeah, that could have been really fun, but I'm just gonna drop the solo, get that extra crit chance, potentially eliminate a character from my opponent's side, and then just keep on gaming from there with my exceeding dodge and my exceeding protection, and also the possibility of regen. If you're my opponent, in this situation it feels really bad, because this character is guarded, you can't do anything about it, because you don't have anything to deal with guards with this team. These characters have insane amounts of dodge, so you can't deal with it. This character has prot and you also can't deal with it. You have panic darts, but you forget that you have panic darts, so you still can't deal with it. Now I'm gonna go for the puncture because they decided to guard for some reason. And even if they Shadow Fade here, I can still expose because I went first round 1. And going first round 1 is definitely fair and balanced, right? Right, yes it is. I wonder, is there a way to make the Butcher's Circus more balanced? I've been watching a lot of League of Legends lately, and some people say that, the game is completely unbalanced, but like there's zero RNG. The only RNG that exists in that game is which side you start on, and it's practically meaningless. In the Butcher's Circus, going first or going second can be the difference between winning or losing. In League of Legends, being on blue side or being on red side, it's practically the same. There are some slight differences, but the win chance is 50-50 as well. I'm not sure if anyone has ever done like a study on the win chance in the Butcher's Circus if you go first or if you go second. I think it would be very difficult to make a study on that, because you'd have to have like it's extremely difficult to make a study on that, because you can technically, if you're really good at the Butcher's Circus and you go against a lot of novices, well, then the win chance is just completely skewered. It doesn't work, because sometimes you're gonna go first, sometimes you're gonna go second, and that's not gonna make the difference. What makes the difference is the fact that you have more trinkets, you have more game knowledge, and you know, you're basically smurfing on the newbies. But yeah, it would be fun. Maybe if there are 2 people playing the exact same teams, but playing the exact same teams, either that team is going to prefer going first or it's going to prefer going second, so it still doesn't work. Speaking of still doesn't work, my opponent actually misses both repulse again, because I got a crit again with my antiquarian. But yeah, that's just the way the Butcher's Circus works. Because if you're a damage team, like with Jester, you really want to go first to drop that battle bound if your opponent has dodge. If you're a dodge team, sometimes you kind of want to go second. It depends what you go into, but if you go into WD, you might want to go second, because they have no accuracy buffs, they don't have a battle bound or anything of the likes for you to disrupt even. So if you go second, you just basically get a round of immunity, where your opponent just has to do really subpar moves, or else they're gonna whiff them. So it is very good to have happen. I went for the puncture again, and she's stealth again? What happened? I'm not entirely sure. I got too focused on League of Legends. You should never do that. Never get too focused on League of Legends. Ow! That hurt! 11 damage, crit. I don't think this made a difference, honestly. Yeah, I don't think Jack Chopper made a difference. Maybe the crit chance did. Maybe the crit chance did. And yeah, in League, there's also no RNG. The only RNG you get is like when, depending on like which dragon spawns in the map. So there's like bigger objectives as you're playing, and sometimes there's different elemental dragons, and they have different buffs. So you're gonna have characters that prefer some buffs to the others, but that's basically it. There's not too much else, and you know, it doesn't really change a whole amount. It's basically just skill. There's a lot of skill in the Butcher Circus too, don't get me wrong, but every move, or rather almost everything about the circus is RNG. I guess that's what you get from making a turn-based game. If every move was 100% hit chance, 100% crit chance for this move, 0% crit chance for that one. This one kills, this one doesn't kill. I guess the game would be really boring then, right? So maybe the fault isn't with the RNG, maybe the fault is with the game. The game is just boring if you don't have RNG. Oh, my mind is broken. Yeah, I could just expose you, and I think I will. The damage is just gonna be too much regardless. The damage will just be too much. I kind of want to drop a command buff and then see how much damage the finale does. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go into here. Also, she also has plus crits received chance. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. They go pick. It's still gonna hurt for 10. Would have hurt for at least 20 if I didn't have, or rather, if I hadn't used expose. But I'm gonna go for the command buff. That's gonna be plus crit chance, plus damage for my Jester, and he's gonna do a lot with this finale. Yeah, it's really gonna hurt. Hopefully get the kill on the Grave Robber. How much damage would it do? Yeah, I'm 95% sure. I'm 94% sure it's still gonna get the kill on the Grave Robber even without a crit, like a guaranteed kill, right? No, 70 to 30, it's not enough. Look at that crit chance. I said 94% sure because 95% is 100 in terms of hit chance. You know, I don't know how that makes sense, but yeah, it's a crit for 40. Nice. Minus 21 HP on her. That's kind of overkill, man. That's kind of overkill, Jester. Chill out. And Awesome Souls just surrenders. So, hope you all enjoyed today's video. Hope you all enjoyed the Dodge team. Don't play it. Or do. Give it your own twist. Play other Dodge teams. They're fun. They're mostly fun. If you play a team that doesn't have accuracy buffs and you go against a Dodge team, it's like, oh boy, here we go again. But if you have an accuracy buff team, then it just feels really easy. So it's one of those more coin flip teams. But even then, playing against a Dodge team while you have no accuracy can sometimes still be fun, kind of like just to surpass the challenge and kind of just try to go for the best moves in spite of the RNG being, or in spite of the odds being stacked against you, right? You kind of just become the underdog, and that is sometimes a fun position to play out. Not all the time though, not all the time, it depends what you're playing against. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.